He was no god, just a man with salt in his veins and fire in his heart. Odysseus, king of Ithaca, who dared to challenge the endless sea and the wrath of Poseidon himself. A king's memory, the grand hall of Menelaus's palace in Sparta. The fire crackles softly as Telemachus, son of Odysseus, sits across from the aging but regal King Menelaus. A feast is laid before them, but Telemachus cares little for the food. His heart is restless, searching for news of his father. Menelaus, sensing the young man's turmoil, leans back in his chair, his eyes distant as he recalls the past.
You ask about your father, young Telemachus. You wish to know of his deeds in Troy? Ah, I see his spirit in your eyes. Cunning, determined, restless.
They say he was the wisest among you, that without him the war might have lasted another 10 years. But tell me, my lord, how did he bring down the walls that no spear or sword could breach?
Menelaus smiles, his gaze drifting to the flickering flames as if seeing the past unfold before him.
We had fought for 9 long years. The gods toyed with us. Apollo struck us down with his arrows, and the walls of Troy, Zeus himself must have blessed them, refused to fall. Achilles, our mightiest, could not tear them down. Agamemnon's armies crashed against them, like waves upon rock. But then, your father. I remember the night well. He sat apart from the others, staring into the darkness, deep in thought, and when he rose, his eyes burned like a man who had glimpsed the will of the gods themselves.
Flashback to the Greek war camp outside Troy. Odysseus approaches Menelaus and a small group of commanders, his expression unreadable.
We have spent a decade battering Troy's walls. We have thrown ourselves against them and failed. It is time we let them open the gates for us. And how do you propose we do that? A city that has defied even Achilles will not surrender to mere words. Not words, a gift.
The commanders exchange glances. Odysseus steps forward, his voice low, intense.
The Trojans trust in their gods, in their pride, in their walls. We will give them a reason to let us in. A wooden horse, enormous, magnificent. A tribute to Athena, the goddess they fear and revere. We will make them believe we have sailed away, leaving behind this offering. And inside, hidden in its belly, our finest warriors.
A stunned silence follows. Then, a slow, knowing smile spreads across Menelaus's face.
A gift, a trick of the mind, rather than the might of the sword. That is where true battles are won. Let them celebrate their victory. Let them drag our horse into their city. And when night falls, when they are drunk on their own triumph, we strike.
Flashback fades. Menelaus looks back at Telemachus, a proud yet somber expression on his face.
And so it was, Telemachus. Your father's mind, not our spears, brought down Troy. That night, as the Trojans slept, the belly of the horse opened, and your father led his warriors through the streets of a city doomed by its own arrogance.
And yet, even after such a victory, he did not return home.
Menelaus sighs, nodding slowly.
No, the gods were not yet finished with him. But if there is one thing I learned from Odysseus, it is this. No storm, no god, no war can break his will. If he still breathes, Telemachus, he will find his way back to you.
Telemachus grips his cup, the firelight dancing in his determined eyes. The son of Odysseus will not rest until he uncovers his father's fate.